Well, good morning. We made it to equipment auction, McGrew equipment auction, and trying to make things right, get this done. I think I might have explained in another video. I sent my dispatch driver here to pick up equipment for a customer. The auction didn't bring out all the equipment. Customer was not going to pay again from what we quoted, so I told him, don't worry, I'll come get it. It may take me a couple extra days, but I'll get the rest of your stuff. Our agreed upon price, I'll deliver the rest of the stuff. I'll pay the dispatch driver, and I'm pretty much just doing this to, to make things right. It's good business practice, and at the end, there's no real blame other than just miscommunication between everybody. So part of what happened was there's multiple paid invoices. Everything wasn't on one invoice. And when the driver got here, an invoice wasn't paid or hadn't been taken care of, so there was some confusion, and I think that's where the ball was dropped. They were more worried about the one that hadn't been paid. They got it paid, and they only brought that stuff out. So it's no worries. I'm here now. I'm gonna make it right. It's, probably cost me $150 in fuel total. I'll pick up today. I'll deliver on Monday, and it is what it is. Just good business practice. All right, so I got all the information. I'm gonna go through one by one. I'm just blocking off his personal information. And we got 2 copies. We're gonna go through, check everything off, make sure everything is picked up so I don't have to do this again. Well, I'm gonna be honest, all this wouldn't have fit on one trailer anyways. I've got maybe 3 or 4 feet left here, and we had probably what we were told was a couple of zero turns. Couple of zero turns turns into 4 zero turns that are too wide to go side by side, a finishing like golf course mower. So this would have never fit on one trailer. So at the end I underbid it because I wasn't given all the information. All I was told was a couple of attachments, a couple of zero turns, and a tractor. So at the end of the day, I wasn't given all the information, so I get screwed. But I'm here to make it right, so it is what it is. I'm not that worried about it. Everything's strapped down. Get out of here so this truck down here can back into the dock and get unloaded himself. I was at least able to get this one fired up. Had to go right to the starter, but she's seen better days, that's for sure. Well, good afternoon. At this point, it's afternoon. I should probably leave my four-ways on. I'm here to pick up a vehicle, which I'll show you, but I am a couple hours later than I wanted to be. I had a couple things to get done with the brokerage side of things this morning. Had three cars get picked up, and that took most of my morning. And then I have this Honda right here that I've already picked up from the Copart right by my house. And I'm picking up this bread van. I'll show you it. We're headed to Florida with it. And I got to get down to Florida to start bringing some of my snowbirds back. This customer doesn't require enclosed trailers, so I decided let's either search enclosed or open. What are we going to make more money going down? And I put a nice little load together. So let's hop out, get this thing fired up. Because the owner of this isn't here. He had to leave for the weekend. He left the key in it. So just wanted me to get it today because he's parked kind of blocking the sidewalk, and I guess they don't like that around here. So here she is, an old ice cream truck, all painted up. Looks pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with how high it sits off the ground in the back, because that overhang's gonna be a determining factor getting it on the trailer. But pretty clean build. See if I can get up in this thing and see what I can do here. All new gauges. It's only got 30 miles in it since this was all put on, but key should be somewhere, maybe somewhere in here. Take a picture. There we go. All right, let's see if this thing will fire up for us. Find the key that works for it. Not that. It's a GM key, so maybe this is the ignition. Well, there we go. See what we can do here. It's got fuel in it, battery's charging. Looks like parking brake is here. I don't really know if that works. All right, wish me luck. Guessing this is just like if I'm all the way back like this, I'm guessing I'm in first gear maybe. Alrighty. Should be somewhere around 22 foot long, but the height in the back here, I really like that. It's not as long as I thought it was, and it runs okay, so I'm gonna pull it up here and see if it won't go up on a trailer pretty easily for us. Well, you thought we were only taking 2 pieces to Florida? Man. Good thing we found this little guy they had lost the keys for and finally found. This little guy's gonna go with us too. Well, not sure where we're gonna put it on the trailer yet, but figure that out. I've been waiting here for 30 minutes or so for them to find the key. Let's get this out to the truck and we'll worry about it from there. The power of social media. Just had this beautiful Porsche dropped off to me. Getting this shipped to Colorado. Full race car. Guy that's been helping me here recently. Doing a great job. Is going to take this out to Colorado for me. Headed out to its new owner. So, Jonathan, the gentleman that just delivered this to me, this was sitting at his shop. His customer ended up selling it. He brought it down to me, graciously enough, brought it down to me out of New York. I met him at a rest area one time. He introduced himself, said he watched me on YouTube, and now we're doing business. So if you see this, buddy, I appreciate you dropping this off to me. This thing is gorgeous. Let's get it pulled over, get ready to head out to Colorado. All right, well, I'm on the road again. I've actually been on the road for 400 and some odd miles. Get a little fuel, get a little far down the road, and call it a night. I got 3 pieces here. Got this, what is that? Is that a Civic or a Accord? Accord. This small side-by-side that's sideways on the trailer, which I loaded from the side with my ramps, which is sketchy. And then the big bus. All that's headed to Florida. I'm in Dillon, South Carolina right now, actually at the Speedway, because I think it's like $3.41 a gallon, the cheapest fuel that I've seen. So I'm happy about that. I really haven't been videoing today because it has been just chaotic. Like, so I woke up this morning to a broker call and asking where I was, and I was like on my way to Florida, and I had told them Tuesday delivery, and I was like, maybe I didn't say it right. So I scrolled back up in our messages and I said Tuesday delivery, and they're like giving me like a little bit of attitude, so I just kind of let it go and just didn't look more into it or think maybe they were just being like passive aggressive, and I just kind of moved on. So then what else happened? So I booked trying to book a load for my one driver, one of my guys doing power only, hauling campers. So I get this load. This person's gonna pull up in front of me at this, so I'm inch up so this other truck can get around me and pull into a spot. So there's this load on the board. It's I don't remember all the details. It paid $4,000 for a camper. And I called on it and I was like, okay, it's got a good rate per mile for a camp for power only. Let me go ahead and call. Let me see what's going on. Everything's good. So they're like, yep, we'll call the customer, make sure it's ready for pickup tomorrow. We'll call you back. I was like, cool. So 15 minutes goes by or so, I get a text message from them. And let me remind you, it was posted for $4,000. They came back to me and asked if I would do it for, they asked me if I would do it for $2,500. All right, so I just went back and looked at the messages to make sure I'm telling this correctly. So they came back and said, can you do it for $2,500? I said, I would have never called if it was posted for $2,500. No, thank you. They're like, well, what's the best you can do it for? I'm like, $4,000, which you had it posted for. And they had the audacity to say, well, that's all he can spend on this is $2,500. I was like, okay, have a nice day. Like, we don't have anything else, unless you're paying $4,000, we don't have anything else to talk about. They're like, well, I'm sorry, he has 3 other cars to ship. I guess they're moving across the country or something. And I just text back, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm a business, I'm not a charity. Just because of his situation doesn't mean I can just do it for free. Alrighty, well, got the ice cream truck delivered. Now I'm working on switching this UTV, have it sideways on the trailer. I'm gonna unload it and then put it straight on the trailer since we got all this extra room. Dealing with, just dropped off that ice cream truck. I'm like getting yelled at by the broker, which I do a lot of work with, and I'll tell you why they're yelling at me, which it is what it is. All right, so there's been some storms this week that slowed me down yesterday. So they told me to reach out to the customer and let them know and I'd be there. And I said, hey, I'll be there. I don't know where I'm gonna put these ramps. I just wanna put them in the bed of the truck. Anyways, I told them, I said, hey, I'll be there late afternoon, early evening. And their text message I got back was, we're only open until 4:30 for delivery. It's a nice place. So I took that as don't deliver after 4:30. So around 3 o'clock or so, I called and I didn't get an answer. Let me remind you, the first time I called, I didn't get an answer, so I sent a text message and got a response like an hour later. So This morning, I'm unloading. I gotta get my ramps out. I gotta get some wood out because of that overhang on that. It's a little hard to load and unload. Plus, it doesn't run very well. It has no brakes. So, I get a text. They open it at 9. I get a text at 9:02 that says, you know, what's going on? My customer's really upset. I'm like, I'm here. Truck's off the trailer. And I got a signature. I'll send you the BOL. So, long story short, the broker slipped up and told me what they charged this person to get this back down here. The customer's upset because how much they paid the broker, which they made a pretty hefty penny. I made good money, but not what they made. And that's why they're upset. They paid all this money. Broker told them it would be delivered a certain day, which was last week. And I didn't get the dispatch last week. So, what happens in situations like this, yes, I'm strapping my ramps down. What happens in situations like this is the broker tries to pass the buck to the transporter, make the transporter look bad. And in turn, the broker's been probably holding this person off for a couple days because from what I heard, when I booked the load, one or two people tried to load this and couldn't. So, of course, I get it done, and I'm still getting yelled at. And let me remind you, I said I would deliver yesterday because of the weather, which, yeah, it is what it is, but I was also me delivering at 4:30 when they close, or me delivering it open. Things not going to get worked on anyways, you know what I mean? So, if they would have answered the phone yesterday, we could have talked about that, but they didn't want to do that. So, got this switched around so it'll make it a little easier to unload when we get there. And I'll keep you guys updated. We're going to take this cord off with a forklift, I'm told, so I just got to get a couple hours farther into Florida now. Alright, well, we made it. Finally got a hold of somebody that knows what's going on. This is a tropical shipping location. That's what they're called, tropical. I had to get a booking number for this, but the name I had for the customer didn't match what they have because I've been talking to the son, not the dad. So, let me get this thing unstrapped. I don't got much time, but I'll explain how I got a little screwed, not on this one, but on dropping this one off. So, I don't know how bad the wind is. I apologize. So I got screwed because this storm coming in, they're gonna shut down unloading at this little port place like 2 hours early. They're supposed to close at 5, but they're closing at 3 now, so I gotta wait around down here somewhere between Boca Raton, Fort Lauderdale, somewhere around there to wait till the morning to unload this Honda Accord, which sucks. It puts me behind, but I mean, I might not be able to drive in this storm anyways, because it's coming. I've kind of been out running it, but it's the farther south I go, the later it'll be here. This day really didn't go the way I wanted it to, so now I gotta try and find a place to park. I've looked, I was like, maybe I'll just get a hotel, but it's like, gotta find a place I can fit this trailer in, and then it's like, I found a place I could go, like a little travel plaza truck stop. Review says it's a dump, So then I tried to stop at one of the service plazas on the Florida Turnpike. There was no parking. So I have found a Walmart that says it allows truck parking. It's just a hike to get there. You gotta take all these back roads. I mean, I think it said like 37 minutes for 5.5 miles. I mean, it is 5:36 o'clock, so it's right at rush hour, but I'm really just ready for this day to be over at this point. Maybe find something good to eat, because it really didn't turn out the way I wanted it to.